Okay, Geo, what happened? Where did it all go wrong?
I think that everything went wrong from the very beginning, to be honest. I loved every second of me being on Survivor. So let me just start by saying that. But as soon as I got to the island, I kind of like messed up on the very first challenge, and I feel like I should have put my foot down because I remember right before we started that challenge, James had come up to me and said, like my knee hurts, so I can't really do this challenge. So I was like, well, I guess you can't run. I can run, I guess. So I'll jump in there and do it. Uh, and everything just went down after that because like I wasn't strong enough to pick up the crate. I remember right before we started the challenge, he said those crates are really heavy. Who wants to do this challenge? It's usually like the stronger people, yeah. So I was like, I looked at James and Ryan again, and I was like, so they're the strongest people in our tribe. They should be the ones doing this. And James looked at me again and went, my knee hurts, bro. And I'm like, wow, okay, then I'll do it. So I feel like that was the beginning for me. I pretty much started off by showing everyone that I wasn't that strong. And that was an excuse. Like on Survivor, you don't need many excuses to be taken out. So from the very beginning, I knew I was on the bottom, and I knew I had to work really hard to make sure that I make myself um, I guess, useful around camp and not, get voted out if we lost.
But yet we kept hearing you talk about kept tempting the Survivor gods, talking about how great your position was and how easy it was all going, how easy the votes were going to be. So you clearly at least what we saw, you looked like you felt pretty confident at your place in the tribe, at least who was going home first.
So you know what? Perception is reality. I'm gonna just say that right now. Every episode is a 2-day episode, and you guys only get to see whatever the Survivor gods want you guys to see, basically. So for me, so much more happened. Like so many more connections. I was doing so much. I climbed every single tree because I was scared. I climbed every single tree looking for an idol. Every time I got a chance to, if I saw stone sitting somewhere, I flipped every stone trying to find an idol every single day because I wasn't comfortable. I didn't want to show everybody else that I was scared at the same time because I didn't want to look like like Gio's scared. He shouldn't be here. Like he's freaking out because even paranoia could get you out as well. So I didn't want to look paranoid. So there's so much that you guys didn't get to see that actually happened. But that's part of the game at the end of the day. That's what makes Survivor a really good show, you know?
Well, yeah, because they can only fit so much into an episode and so much happens out there. Tell me about some of the things that did happen that you wish we had seen, some of the things that weren't able to make it on air that you wish we'd be able to see.
Well, I did a lot around camp. And because I was always in the bottom, even though we were winning challenges, I knew I was in the bottom from day one. I challenged myself to do so many things that I've never done before. Prior to Survivor, I've never gone camping or I've never done anything like that. But on Survivor, I've learned to push myself to the limit. I've learned to go climb trees and look for idols, look for food, be a provider, and I think everywhere all of us were pretty happy, and that made me feel happy. Also, like there's so many little things like arguments, or not. I wouldn't say arguments, but disagreements that happen prior, whatever we got to see on TV. That if you take those little things out, you're probably just gonna look at me like I'm a crazy person. It's like if you walk into a room and you see somebody's having a reaction about somebody saying something, you're gonna think that person is mean, but not the person that actually initiated it. So little things like that happen as well. And one thing that like since last week I can't stop thinking about is the we were cutting cassava or yuca. I was cooking almost every day because I wanted to provide for the tribe. And I remember Cassidy had come up to me and said something about you should start chopping the food differently so we can feel like we're eating something different. And at that moment, I'm like, wait, I'm like, it's draining looking for food, chopping the food, and then 5 minutes later, I'm eating as they're telling us, okay, time to go on a challenge, and I'm like, crap, I didn't even get a chance to eat. So it's draining. So at that moment, I was kind of like, kind of upset. I was a little frustrated. I was like, wait, I've been doing all of this now. Like the only thing you come and tell me is chop it different so we can feel like we're eating something different. Like so people didn't get to see that part. They only got to see the side where Geo kind of like catches an attitude and he's like, no, this is how I chop it or whatever. Like another thing, me watching me back on TV, I was like, I didn't even like that Geo because I was like, how did this happen? Like, how did I become so mean? Like, I don't think I was mean or I was barking orders at people, but hey, again, reality TV, and I was grateful to be there and grateful, and I'm still grateful to have an opportunity to watch me back, be I guess a little soldier on this world.
Well, you mentioned Cassidy, and clearly we saw you were intent on getting her out. Why Cassidy? Why did you want her to go so badly?
Yeah, everything started with that Cassava situation. We were actually getting along pretty well before that. I know she was trying to work with me. She was trying to work with people in there, and I was trying to work with people as well. But it was just after that incident, things didn't really feel right. Like she would come up to me and tell me something like she was trying to work with me and stuff, but I could see that she wasn't honest about that. Like we just, I know, just the way I felt. Like I knew she wasn't trying to work with me, but she like there was a lot of days where she was like she was supposed to be part of an alliance with me and Ryan at a point, and I was able to see right through it. I'm like, you're not part of our alliance. Like I know she was working with somebody else. Same thing with Carla. She was working with Ryan and I. And at a point, I saw her, and I knew she was not working with us. I knew she was working. She was telling Cassidy everything because when the Cassava incident happened, I had walked away from Cassidy and I started like complaining to Ryan and Carla and say, hey, you know what? I'm just tired of this because I'm working hard over here so everybody can eat. And Carla had gone and told Cassidy everything that I said. And then Cassidy, I guess, got upset, and Kevin told me everything that Carla told Cassidy. And then it became a thing, like a situation now where like Cassidy's like, I heard you were talking about me. I'm not gonna tell you who told me, but somebody told me. And I'm like, really? Like, I know who told you.
Well, that begs the question then, Gio. We saw you tell Carla about the knowledge is power advantage. So why did you tell her about that, knowing that maybe she wasn't trustworthy with information?
Even after I found out that I couldn't trust Carla, I really wanted to work with Carla. I mean, I didn't have that many options. It was just Ryan and I. So I really wanted to work with Carla, and I had even called her out. They didn't show this part either, where actually I went up to her and said, "Hey, I know you're working with Cassidy. I know you're working with. I didn't say Cassidy, but with them, because meaning everybody else that was there. I know you're working with them, and you're not working with us. I know you've been lying, but I want to work with you. I really want to work with you. Like I think it could be you, me, and Ryan all the way to the end. We can protect each other." I had a conversation where, so with me coming back to camp from the journey, I wanted to share that with Carla just to show her that like, hey, trust me, I trust you. Look, I have the knowledge is power. Maybe we can work together. We can protect each other, and when the merge comes, we can like fight the other people that are working. Like, it's two tribes working against us. So I wanted to show her like this is what I got. We should work together. I mean, it obviously didn't work out, but I was trying like you didn't see it, but I was trying everything in my power to just leave another day and stay there for another day if possible.
Do you still have the knowledge is power parchment?
Oh no, they take that away from us. I wanted to keep it and frame it. I was so happy. You don't understand. I was like this happiest person when I got my knowledge is power. I was like, this is my dream. Like I get to watch or I get to have a knowledge is power. Especially after spending the first whatever amount of days looking for an idol, I I probably climbed every single tree I walked past, and I was like, you know what? I might be playing a little too hard at doing all of this and risking myself a little bit too much, but I didn't want to go home having any regrets and saying, man, I felt like I should have checked there when I'm watching TV. I felt like I should have walked past that or I should have climbed that tree. I was no, like I flipped every stone. I even opened coconuts, thinking maybe the idols is out of a coconut.
Well, let me ask you about Ryan because you guys were close out there. But did you know that Ryan threw the challenge? Did he ever tell you he was going to do that, or he had done that? Did he even throw the challenge, or just not, or did he not do well?
Something had happened that Cassidy, he wanted Cassidy out at a point, and I was like, I'm down for that. So let's just go for it. So he really wanted, but I didn't want to throw the challenge because at the same time, I knew that I was in the bottom from day one, and I was like, I don't want to throw the challenge because that's a risk for me. And if something happens, I could be the one going home. But we didn't really talk about it even like that much. It was just an idea that he had, and then I didn't even know he threw the challenge. I was like, man, I should have jumped in there and be like, let me get that ball and throw it myself and see if it works. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I didn't know.
we saw you talk about your struggles with your family growing up and how they basically, kicked you out because of your sexuality, Geo, sort of leading you to be homeless. How aware are they now of your survivor experience? Have you heard from any of your family since the show started airing?
No, it's been like 17 years since my parents have spoken to me. And I haven't heard from them. I don't know if I will either, but hey, you know what? Like, it's okay. I'm not gonna say I moved on from that because you never really move on from your own family. But I've learned to live my life and not put my life on hold to make other people happy.
What was it like being able to share that story? Because I'm sure it's a story that really resonated with a lot of people that have maybe gone through similar issues and problems with their families.
For me, it was really hard actually because I didn't want to say anything negative about my family either. There's no way to go around that. Like, I didn't want to trash them, and I made it a point to say I don't want to say anything negative. I don't want to trash them. I still love them. It's been 17 years, but I still love them, and I just wanted to. At the same time, I know this is my story. I know the struggles that I've gone through, and I wanted to, if possible, inspire somebody out there and say, hey, you know what? I've gone through this, and look at me, I'm a survivor now. Like, if I could inspire someone, then to me it'll be all worth it.